Midnight on Riverside Boulevard. Midnight settled gently on Riverside Boulevard. The river carried moonlight like a sky full of stars. Street lamps painted golden circles on the quiet road, while every passing breeze softened every load. The old cafe was closing as I slowly walked along. His jukebox played a melody from an old forgotten song. The owner waved goodnight with a smile warm and true, like he'd seen 1,000 dreamers passing through. Mama always told me, listen when the night grows still. Sometimes silence teaches lessons louder than it will. So I let the river speak in whispers, soft and low, sharing things only faithful hearts can know. Old Cadillacs rolled slowly with chrome beneath the moon, their engines humming gently like an old familiar tune. Every reflection dancing on the water seemed to say, keep believing, your dawn is on its way. Midnight on Riverside Boulevard, where every dream survives. The city sleeps while hope remains, yeah, keeping hearts alive. Spirit fly. The bridge above the river had watched generations pass, holding every memory like reflections made of glass. Young lovers carved their names into the weathered rail, trusting that true love would never fail. I remembered standing there with nothing but a plan, wondering if tomorrow would remember who I am. The future looked so distant through the cold November rain, yet faith kept calling out my name. The trumpet from a rooftop drifted softly through the night, yeah, wrapping every shadow in a blanket made of light. Its lonely notes reminded me that beauty often grows where nobody else knows. A newspaper boy pedaled home beneath the glowing signs, whistling happy melodies while racing against time. Even ordinary moments carried something grand, like the city held my hand. Sleeps while hope remains, keeping hearts alive. Midnight on Riverside Boulevard, beneath the silver sky. Every lonely mile I walk, help my spirit fly. Yeah. Years have passed since those long walks beside the quiet stream, but Riverside still welcomes every hopeful dream. The buildings may be taller and the skyline brighter now, yet the river keeps its vow. Sometimes I see another dreamer standing by the shore, looking just the way I did so many years before. I simply smile because I know exactly what they seek, a reason to believe. No road is ever wasted if it teaches you to stand. No season is forgotten if it shapes the better man. Every tear becomes a river flowing toward the sea, leading you where you're meant to be. So if the night feels endless and tomorrow seems too far, lift your eyes toward heaven where the faithful stars are. The darkest roads are often where the brightest dreams are born, always just before the dawn. The moon rolls high, the river sings, hope is found in a little thing. The night moves slow, the dawn appears, faith grows stronger through the years. Midnight on Riverside Boulevard still calls my heart by name. Every step I ever took prepared me for my flame. Midnight on Riverside Boulevard, forever shining bright. The river taught me dreams are born in the middle of the night. The moon slips west, the river keeps flowing. The first morning birds begin to sing, and somewhere tonight another dreamer is walking. Midnight on Riverside Boulevard. The gentleman in the gray fedora, every Sunday afternoon he'd walk down Maple Lane, wearing a gray fedora through the sunshine and the rain. His polished shoes reflected every golden afternoon, moving with the rhythm of an old soul tune. Nobody knew exactly where the gentleman had been, yet every smile upon his face revealed the strength within. He greeted every stranger with respect and quiet grace, leaving kindness in every place. Children watched him passing with amazement in their eyes, as if he carried secrets from beyond the city skies. He'd tip his hat politely with a warm and humble grin, making everyone feel like family and friend. Mama always whispered, watch the way that good men live. The richest hearts are measured by the love they freely give. Those simple words would echo every time he'd stroll, teaching lessons to my soul. The gentleman in the gray fedora walked with quiet pride, never needed wealth or fame to stand up tall inside. The gentleman in the gray fedora, everyone knew his name, not because of fortune, but because he stayed the same. He spent his mornings helping at the neighborhood cafe, greeting every customer at the start of every day. If someone couldn't pay their bill, he'd quietly lend a hand without asking for a thing in return. The barber called him brother, the baker called him friend. Everyone believed his kindness had no end. Even when life tested him with hardships and delay, he never lost his way. The jazz band trumpet filled the space. Every melody reminded him that life was meant to share. Moments beyond compare. He always wore that gray fedora slightly to one side, like confidence and peace were walking side by side. The hat became a symbol every youngster came to know, of dignity that always seemed to grow. The gentleman in the gray fedora walked with quiet pride, never needed wealth or fame to stand up tall inside. The gentleman in the gray fedora, everyone knew his name, not because of fortune, but because he stayed the same. Years rolled by like vinyl records, turning through the night, changing every season underneath the city lights. The children grew to families with dreams of their own, yet his example still was shown. One autumn morning, someone noticed he was gone. But every street still carried echoes of his song. The bench where he would sit remained beneath the tree, holding memories faithfully. People gathered quietly to celebrate his life, speaking of the hope he'd given through both joy and strife. No statues marked his legacy, no headlines filled the page, yet his kindness outlived every age. Now whenever I put on a hat before I leave, I remember all the lessons he helped me believe. True greatness isn't measured by applause or worldly gain. It's the goodness you leave behind each day. A gentle smile, a helping hand. That's how legends truly stand. Through changing years, light remains. Love outlives both loss and pain. The gentleman in the gray fedora still walks these streets somehow. Through every act of kindness, his spirit lives right now. The gentleman in the gray fedora forever will proclaim the finest hearts are always known, long before they're famous. The cafe opens, the trumpet begins to play. A gray fedora rests quietly on the old wooden chair. And somewhere tonight, another young dreamer is learning what it truly means to become the gentleman in the gray fedora. Echoes from Cherry Street Cafe. Every morning just before the sunrise touched the sky, Cherry Street Cafe would wake as the town came alive. The smell of fresh coffee drifted softly through the air, welcoming every soul with warmth and care. The jukebox in the corner played a slow doo-wop tune, while the sunlight danced across the room. Old friends gathered at the booths they always knew, sharing dreams like dreamers always do. The waitress knew each customer by the sound of their voice. She'd smile and say good morning, as if kindness were a choice. Every cup she poured was filled with more than coffee steam. It carried hope and quiet dreams. Mama always loved that little place on Cherry Street. She said, the richest songs are born where ordinary people meet. So I listened to the laughter rising through the room, like flowers learning how to bloom. Echoes from Cherry Street Cafe still call my heart today. Every laugh and every song never faded away. Echoes from Cherry Street Cafe, like vinyl softly plays. Some memories never leave, they simply stay. The baker always whistled as he carried fresh warm bread. The newspaper boy would shout the morning news instead. Young musicians filled the corner with guitars held tight, practicing until the fading light. Dreamers filled notebooks with plans for better days, drawing maps of futures in 100 different ways. Some hoped for city lights, some wished for peaceful farms, but hope lived in all their hearts. Rainy afternoons would bring strangers through the door, each one carrying in stories they'd never shared before. Some arrived with heavy hearts and eyes that held the rain, leaving with a smile again. Every table held a chapter no history book could tell, of quiet victories hidden all too well. Cherry Street became more than a place to eat. It became where hopeful souls would meet. Echoes from Cherry Street Cafe still call my heart today. Every laugh and every song never faded away. Echoes from Cherry Street Cafe, like vinyl softly plays. Some memories never leave, they simply stay. Years rolled by and buildings changed along the avenue. New signs appeared where old ones once came into view. One autumn day the cafe closed its weathered wooden door, leaving silence where music lived before. People gathered one last time beneath the glowing sign, remembering conversations that had stood the test of time. The owner thanked each family with tears inside his eyes as the evening met the skies. Someone played the jukebox, one last gentle melody, and every heart sang quietly in harmony. Old photographs were passed around from seasons long ago, bringing back the love we'd known. Though the windows now are dark and the chairs are put away, the spirit of that little cafe still remains, because places built with love can never truly disappear. They're carried year after year. The coffee cools, the records spin. Every ending holds a new beginning. The lights go low, the years may fly, but memories never say goodbye. Echoes from Cherry Street Cafe still sing inside my soul. Every smile and every dream help make my spirit whole. Echoes from Cherry Street Cafe, forever here to stay. The sweetest songs are born from love that never fades away. The coffee pots grow silent, the jukebox stops spinning. The jukebox stops spinning The morning sun fills Cherry Street. And somewhere tonight, another little cafe is becoming someone's favorite memory. The house where the music never left. At the end of Willow Lane stood an old white wooden home, filled with songs so beautiful. No heart felt alone. Every evening after supper, as the daylight slipped away, music filled the house until the break of day. Mama hummed beside the window while she folded clothes with care. Daddy played old vinyl records that floated through the air. The children danced across the living room in worn-out Sunday shoes, moving to familiar blues. The walls remembered every laugh that echoed through the years, every celebration, every joy, every tear. The piano in the corner never gathered dust, because someone always played with love and trust.
The house where the music never left
still lives inside my heart. Every note became a memory, every song a work of art.
The house where the music never left
still echoes every day. Love keeps every melody from ever fading away. Summer nights brought neighbors to the old front porch, sharing stories underneath the porch light's gentle torch. Someone grabbed a guitar, another found the beat, turning simple moments into memories sweet. The little radio beside the kitchen sink played all day long, filling every room with another favorite song. The smell of homemade pie mixed with the warm brass sound, making heaven feel close around. Grandmother would clap her hands while singing every line. Grandfather smiled proudly, keeping perfect time. 3 generations laughed beneath one humble roof, living proof that love tells the truth. The youngest child learned harmony before learning to read, growing stronger with every melody, because music wasn't entertainment in that place. It was the heartbeat of the family grace.
where the music never left
still lives inside my heart. Every note became a memory, every song a work of art.
the house where the music never left
Still echoes every day. Love keeps every melody from ever fading away. The years moved on like seasons drifting through the trees. Children chased new dreams across distant seas. The old house grew quieter than before, yet music lingered through every crisscrossing the old wooden floor. Someone placed the same old record on the player once again, and suddenly we were children then. The walls seemed to remember every joyful refrain, every birthday, every Christmas, every summer rain. Though time had changed our faces and silver touched our hair, the music was still there. We realized then that home was never just the place, but every loving voice and every warm embrace. As long as one heart keeps the melody alive, that house will always survive. The years roll on, the songs remain. Love outlives both joy and pain. The records spin, the children grow, but music always finds its home. The house where the music never left will never fade away. Its songs live on in every heart that sings them every day. The house where the music, the house where the music never left, forever standing strong, because a family's greatest treasure is love wrapped in a song. The old record reaches its final groove. The porch light softly glows. Laughter drifts through the evening air. And somewhere tonight, a family is creating memories in the house where the music never left.
Tomorrow wears a blue suit.
The sun was just beginning to rise above the town, painting every rooftop with a golden crown. I stood before the mirror in my little rented room, watching morning chase away the gloom. A brand new blue suit hung beside the window light, pressed with care the previous night. It wasn't made of riches or the finest thread, but it carried every dream inside my head. Mama smiled and straightened up my tie. She said, walk with faith and hold your head up high. Clothes may open doors, but your heart will lead the way. Character is what will always stay. The city slowly woke beneath the morning sky. Streetcars rode while sparrows learned to fly. Every corner seemed to whisper soft and true, today belongs to you.
Tomorrow wears a blue suit,
Pressed with hope and pride. Every dream I've carried walks right by my side. Tomorrow wears a blue suit, bright as morning light. Every step I take today leads me toward what's right. The barber tipped his hat as I passed his little shop, saying, don't let believing ever stop. The baker waved from down the street with flour on his hands, cheering louder than a marching band. Old friends gathered outside the neighborhood cafe, laughing like we did back in the day. They reminded me of every promise we had made, back when dreams were only shades. The trumpet from the ballroom floated through the breeze, blending with the rustling autumn trees. Its melody sounded brighter than before, opening another door. Though my pockets still were light and the road remained unknown, I had learned true wealth begins at home. Every lesson, every struggle, every sacrifice I'd made helped prepare this day. Tomorrow wears a blue suit, pressed with hope and pride. Every dream I've carried walks right by my side. Tomorrow wears a blue suit, bright as morning light. Every step I take today leads me toward what's right. Years before, I'd watch successful people passing by, wondering if I'd ever reach that side. Now I understood the greatest treasure wasn't fame, it was staying true through every change. The city skyline sparkled underneath the noon, while children sang an old familiar tune. Their laughter echoed proudly through the avenue, like tomorrow breaking through. I stopped beside the river where my journey first began, remembering the hopes of that younger man. He had nothing but determination in his eyes and faith beneath the skies. I thanked every road that taught me how to stand, every helping heart and guiding hand, because without those seasons full of doubt and pain, I would never be the same. The clouds move on, the sun shines through. Every day begins anew. Keep your faith, hold your dream. Nothing's ever as hard as it seems. The road is long, but hearts that believe find more than they ever dreamed. Now I see another young soul walking down the street with worn out shoes upon his feet. His jacket may be faded and his pockets nearly bare, but hope is shining there. I walk beside him for a little while, sharing stories with an easy smile. I tell him every mountain starts with just one climb, and every victory takes time. One day he'll wear his own blue suit with pride, not because of what the world can buy, but because he'll know the man reflected in the glass is stronger than his past. The finest clothes will someday fade away, but honesty will never lose its place. When tomorrow finally knocks upon your door, you'll be ready for much more. Tomorrow wears a blue suit, brighter than the morning sky.
Every dream I once believed in,
Help my spirit fly.
tomorrow wears a blue suit.
Tailored by hope and grace,
Every lesson life has given,
lives upon my face. Tomorrow wears a blue suit, and I'm finally ready to, because the greatest thing I'll ever wear is a heart that's honest and true. The morning sun climbs higher, the city comes alive. The band begins another soulful melody. A young dreamer buttons a blue suit, takes one last look toward the horizon, smiles with quiet confidence, because tomorrow has finally arrived.